Hello and welcome to the Wiltshire Caravans handover video for this 2023 Elddis Crusader Zephyr. The 2023 models of the Crusaders are all 8 feet wide, but I'll start at the back as I normally do. I have undone some of the lockers just for ease of the video, so please do bear with me. It can be a little bit difficult trying to fiddle around using one hand whilst holding the camera. Right, so starting at the back, so we've got the light clusters, so your indicators, brake lights, running lights and reversing lights, and indeed fog lights. Corner steadies down at the bottom, and here grab handles. However, these are quite heavy, so difficult to maneuver about manually. You've got the highline brake light, and that's the window for the bedroom. Go around to the offside, another window. First thing we actually come to are the waste outlet pipes. So that's for the grey waste, so your washing up water from the kitchen sink, bathroom sink and from the shower. Okay, now the important bit, the toilet. So standard set for toilet cassette, these have not got a separate reservoir, so you'll know when these need emptying because there's a light inside next to the flush that will light up when the cassette needs emptying. So just literally lift that up, pull it straight towards you, out it comes. This part swivels out. Take the lid off. I'm not going to take it off now, but take the lid off when you do. Put that somewhere safe, and then lean forward over wherever you're emptying the waste, and press on this button here. That will release any pressure to let it out. Okay, you will want to rinse this out then. So slide back, open there, hose pipe to rinse in, close everything up again. Put the lid back on briefly just so you could swirl it around, and then repeat. This lid itself also does have measurements on it, on the outside and the inside, so depending on which fluid you're going to be using, check on the bottle to see how much you need to put in, and that can either be poured into there, or you can obviously just pour it into the tops, entirely up to you. And then fold back round and slide back in. So this handle is actually telescopic, so you can literally walk around and take the pee, so to speak. Okay, quite simple. So, being the Zephyr twin axle model, this one's got all-wheel drive auto engaged motor movers on. That's a separate video altogether. But the alloy wheels, the wheel nuts should be torqued up to 130 Newton meters. I'll show you the weight plate in a little while to show you where you can check if you forget from the video, obviously. Next along, battery box. Like I said, already opened. That's where the battery goes. And this is where the electric hookup is. And this is the isolator for the motor mover. Again, that's a separate video. But this is put here. The electric cable is in. When it's in, you cannot engage the motor mover. That's just to stop people driving off the pitch with a with a pole attached to it. It's also got behind there, if you could just about see that, struggle to see it a little bit really, another antenna point and a 12-volt socket there as well. Next we go to the water input, and for that we'll need to go and get you the water pump, so bear with me. Okay, so here we are, one water pump, where water pump. That end is the end that goes into the water, this is the end that goes into the caravan. So with the slider up, just slide that in and click that down into place. So that's now in place. Like I say, this is the part that goes into the water, that's just the lid to stop any dirt going into your aqua roll. And when you are refilling your aqua roll, you can just put that in there, into that little recess, so to stop the pump actually going onto the floor and getting dirt on. You've also, on this side, we have got an outside service light, so you can change the water at night as well, you lucky things. Also here, that's the exhaust port for the Aldi heating and hot water system if you're using gas. Again, if you're on site, use the electric, but you can use gas. Right, so the front locker. If I can demonstrate this one-handed, it'd be a miracle. So we have had a few questions about these new front lockers on the Buccaneers and the Crusaders. So I'll try and simplify it. When the keyhole in effect is horizontal, that is unlocked, and you can push that in and it will just come out, literally lift up. It's very difficult to show quite so close up, but that's how it comes up. And then closing it, you really want to get hands either side and push it down together, that way it will lock into place quite easily. At some stage I will ask a colleague of mine to film it while I do a separate video to demonstrate. Anyways, whilst we're here, so inside you've got your VIN chip Chris number on here, you've got the gas regulator and all your other bits and bobs that go in here. All right. Okay, continuing on, this has got running on the Alco chassis, so it's got the ATC, Alco trailer control, so it's got a sensor underneath, so if the caravan does start to go out of shape for any reason, it will dab the brakes on. That will stabilise the caravan. Hopefully the only time you notice it is if you're going over a speed hump or something. That's the only time generally. Other than that, alright, there's a door in the way, but you've got the usual 3 windows on the Elddis, grab handles. Again, good luck. There they are. These things are quite heavy. Also in here, outside gas barbecue point. So I do remind people every time I do one of these videos, but please do not use a gas barbecue in an awning. It doesn't go well, or it's got the potential not to go well. So this is just a locker underneath the front bench, so just storage space which you can get to from inside. But you've also got here, if I can get to it, a 230 volt socket and a TV antenna point, and that can then run through this channel here, so you can run an extension lead and a coax outside into the awning if you have one. Mentioned earlier the weight plate. Well, this is it. So details on here, it's got the Chris number, it's also got the mass in running order and the maximum plated weight of this caravan being 1890 kilograms. Tyre size, tyre pressure 42 pounds per square inch. The wheel bolt torque, so for the steel, so for the spare, which is underneath, it's 102 newton meters, and the alloys, as I said earlier, 130 newton meters. Now, mentioning the spare wheel, there is in the front locker a jack to jack these up. It's also got a couple of Alco wheel locks, and you will need the jack to lift these 2 wheels to get the both locks on. It'd be quite difficult otherwise. Okay, you've also got the vents for the freezer and the fridge, and a particular favourite of mine, split level or stable doors. I do like those. And the other locker out here is just literally going under the bed for extra storage. Okay, so that's the outside. Oh, while they're there, awning light, and there is the antenna for your television and the radio. Alright, let's go inside, have a very quick look around before we do more in-depth handover stuff. So, lounge, nice long benches on these, do like that. Wireless charger also pops up, and you've got a couple of USBs in there as well. But just a quick walk around, kitchen area, mid bathrooms in the Zephyr. So shower here, try not to do things too quickly and make things people throw up. Bedroom area, you get a waste master with these as standard. So the bedroom area for all sorts of weird and wonderful. So there's a TV point down there, and of course the bathroom. I'm not going to show you the mirror on purpose. Okay, so that's the light that comes on when the toilet, the cassette is ready to be refilled. Okay, so in just a minute, I can turn everything around, turn everything on and show you how everything works. Okay, so internally, all of the main controls are indeed on the left hand side as you walk in to the caravan. I'll sit down a minute. So we've got master switch, we've also got the outside lights, so the gas locker lights and the service light, and then the awning light. Then you've got internal lights. I'll turn those off and back on again just to show you. They are for the spots, and next to that is for the surrounds. You have got lots of other lights in here. All of these individual lights have got individual switches. If I could actually show you, it would help. Where are you? Just about get under there. So yeah, these have all got individual switches. Lots of light switches around. Kitchen lights, floor level lights, and under counter lights. Loads of them. Half the fun you're going to have is going around finding out where all the light switches are. However, the important things, particularly in the UK, water. Okay, so we have on here, we've got options. This has an internal tank which is located underneath the bed. Now if you want to use your internal tank, you have to fill it up in the first place. So bear with me, I'll try and go through this as slowly as possible, not slowly, but as clearly as possible. To turn your water pump on outside, can you hear that? Yeah, that's the pump I've left in deliberately so you could hear that whirring. So if you want to use the water from just your aqua roll, just leave this rocker in the central position, or the zero position, whatever you want to call it. That will then just take water in from outside. If you are going to use the direct feed pipe that is supplied with here, with the Crusaders, I'm a little bit nervous of them because you don't use the water pump, it uses tap pressure only. And I think I would have a tendency to try to put the pressure up too much. And then you could have just a constant flow into the caravan, but if an O-ring's popped, it could possibly, I know it's unlikely, but it is possible to flood the caravan out. Personally, I would use an aqua roll and a mains adapter, the ball cock system. But this is supplied with the mains, so you can use that, but do not use the water pump. So that's the zero position. If you want to use your internal tank, you have to fill it up first from an external source. So you'll have a full barrel of water, press external, and that will then fill up. You have to turn the pump on, but that will fill up the internal tank from your aqua roll. You would then use internal to use the water in the internal tank and use that pump. Okay, so in the central position, you're using water from your aqua roll or from your outside source. If you want to use your internal tank, you have to fill it up from an external source to start with, and then use the internal tank. Okay, hopefully that's quite clear. This display next to it shows the voltage we have in the caravan, 13.6, where we are plugged into the mains. So I'm not surprised. What's that beeping? I was a delivery van outside. I thought, oh, the fridge is beeping. I haven't even turned it on yet. 5% indicates how much water is in the internal tank at the moment. So we have got a little bit in there. And there's just a little tap next to the internal tank to turn it off. I will show you that in a little while. In fact, why don't we do that now? So, devil may care attitude. Let's go in and see what we can do. So, The internal tank is underneath the bed, and it's here. Okay, there is a little blue tap. That blue tap is currently closed because we have water in here, albeit only 5%. We can open that tap and just drain all of the water onto the floor. I would definitely recommend doing that before you travel anywhere. We have also got a little pressure switch down there, so if you get any clicking or pressure's not great, tiny adjustments on there should absolutely help. Holding a camera and doing this all at the same time on a wig and a prayer. Also very important, and most important for any caravan owner or user, is the drain down tap. Mostly important in winter, but I always used to undo or let all the water out as I was travelling, because if you've got a full water tank and all the system is full, you're likely to have about 10 kilos plus of water, so it's just extra weight. But underneath the front bench, just see that there, that yellow tap, that is allowing water into the caravan. If that is put into the vertical position, that will drain all the water out of the water tank, the hot water tank, which is there. You can just see that there. But at the moment, it's allowing water in. To drain it, like I say, lift it vertical, then open your taps, your sinks and your shower, just to make sure all water drains out, but particularly in winter times, definitely important. Also under here, got your breakers, breaker switches and your fuses. Chances are, if you do overload the caravan, it's normally the pole that the breaker goes on. But if it's not that, it can be there. Right, back to the controls. So that's obviously your main power, lights, water. Most, again, back in the UK, heating and hot water is always important. So this is running on the Elddis system. So this is the power button. It's the Elddis 3030, so it's got slightly more capacity for the hot water. It's got 10 litres now rather than the previous 8.5 of the 3020 system. So the first screen you come to is where we're going to set the temperature. This is just showing that we're using electricity at the moment. Current temperature in here is 25.5 and it feels it. I actually set the temperature in here to 21, but you can have that as whatever you like, and literally it's thermostatically done, up or down, depending on how warm you like the caravan. I always think about 21 degrees is absolutely fine. When the current temperature is over that, the heating system won't be on. I have been asked fairly recently, can they have hot water without the heating on? The heating will always have to be on. All you need to do is turn the thermostat down to a temperature where it's not going to go lower than, for example, if you put it down to 10 degrees, during summer it's not likely to go lower than that. But that's entirely up to you how you do that. Menu then gets you to the next screen. So you've got night mode, day mode. Now you can set a night mode, turn it on. You can set it by day, time, in for what temperature you want, dark state. There's all sorts of things you can play with on here. And also for that, you can do it for night mode for the hot water as well. I have got a video from Elddis themselves showing the 3020 system. I will add that to any video links that I send through to customers. What you can see up here though is next to where we're on electric, we now know that night mode is activated. And then if we go back into night mode, you can turn it off. So then when we go back to the main screen, it's no longer there. Okay, so you've got various modes. Display, sound, language. You can change all sorts of things on here. System configuration and reset, I'd advise customers against that unless you have a problem. Speak to one of our technicians who might advise to do that, but I certainly wouldn't, because I wouldn't know what the best way to do it. You've also got to press again, so it tells you what temperature it is. Again, it's 26.5 in here now, and it feels it too, it really does. Energy. So what energy are we going to use? Well, we're currently going to use 2 kilowatts. You've got 1 kilowatt, you've got 0 kilowatts, you've got 3 kilowatts. But my suggestion to heat things up quickly is go on to 2 kilowatts, because 3 will probably be an overload on the power supply that you have for the caravan. This 2 kilowatts is just for the Elddis system, not for the whole caravan, just for this system. But I also do know that some places are now starting to charge for electricity. So I would say heat it up quickly to 2 kilowatts, or I might even add gas as well. But then once it's at temperature, I would go down to 1 kilowatt just to maintain the temperature. As I said, it's also got gas, so you can add gas with electric, or you can have just gas. But then you are using obviously your own gas. Menu to go back again. Hot water. So you've got a choice of off, on, or boost. You've got 30 minutes of boost. I've never had to use it myself. Normally when the hot water's on, it's enough. It is very hot as well, so remember to use the mixer taps correctly. Don't just go straight to hot water, because you may well scald yourself. They are very warm indeed. Hopefully that's clear, but if anyone's got any questions, you can always give us a call on 01373 752 100 and 01373 752 100, and we'll always sort of try to help as we can. Okay, so that's just the main controls. Hopefully that's not as clear as mud. People have actually asked, right there, what's this thing up here? Well, this is part of the alarm system, and when it flashes once red every now and then, that's absolutely fine. If it flashes red 3 times, it is asking to be reset, in effect. To reset, if I can find the keys, I will show you how we do it. Meanwhile, I'll just throw some tissues all over the floor. Right, so set to keys. Right, so key, alarm fob. I will show you the alarm in a minute. And then you've also got this little, looks like an immobilizer from a 1987 Escort. That just gets pushed into that hole if it's flashing 3 times, just to reset it. Hold it in for a couple of seconds, all reset. Right, one thing I do want to show you on the alarm is this bit, the key fob. So 1 beep is on, 2 beeps is off. That's quite clear. These do have a tracker as well, which we will activate for the first year. This is a panic button. You will have these in your pocket at one stage, and you will press this by accident when you're, I don't know, you could be putting the legs down, whatever. That will go off and it will frighten you to death. Be warned, it's very loud. I'm not going to do it here because I'm inside and I don't know who's going to be walking outside, and it might frighten them to death. But it is very loud, so be forewarned. Anyway, enough doom and gloom. Back on with the video. Right, so here we've got your entertainment system, as they like to call it. Basically, it's a radio. It's also got it's compatible for iPhone and Android. It's got a USB port. It's got an auxiliary in, SRC or source is how everything starts. Set it to the radio. Speakers are a bit of UB40. There you go, a bit of product placement. Probably get fired for that, but there you go. So turn that off. Okay, there you've got the TV aerial and radio aerial. So these unscrew, lift the shaft up, and then turn the aerial around to the same direction everyone else has got their aerials, and then retune your TV wherever you are. If you're always going back to the same site, you only need to do it once. However, if you do move about, yes, you will need to retune. So also got the boost, the gain boost up there. Leave that on, that's absolutely fine. It's not going to be a problem at all. Okay, shouldn't need to touch that. Right, rest cupboard space galore. We've also got a nice natty little table that comes out there. The bed comes out. If you do need to use the bed, the slats do come right out. And then using the sofa cushions, you can turn that into a very, very large double bed. Straight back in. Stuff storage under that side. We've already been under that side. Kitchen area, well, lots of kitchen space, lots of storage space. Yeah, just nice and beautifully done. But yeah, cooker, yeah, it's got a Thetford cooker, so it's got one electric hob and three gas burners. So electric hob, gas burners. The gas burners won't light when the glass lid is up. However, the electric hob shouldn't turn on either. But there is underneath the oven, it's got a separate grill and oven in here. Underneath here, there is a socket, and where that plug goes into that socket, and that will turn the. Then you'll be able to use the electric hob. So there is a light for the oven, that one there, and that's for the burners, for the spark, I should say, for the burners and for the grill and for the oven. You may have noticed there's a couple of gas isolators under there as well. If you're using butane, you can turn them off individually. If you're using propane, just turn off at the bottom. Right, fridge. I'm sorry, you will get a bit of my reflection now, so I do apologise. Don't show this to children, it might scare them, they might think Shrek's here. To turn the power on, or turn the fridge on I should say, thumb onto that sign there, all good. We've got options of going mode, so if you're going to modes, you've got the battery, so that's running off your car alternator if you're travelling, gas, electric or auto. If you've got it on auto, it'll use whatever source you are currently running. I've said about running on the car alternator. The fridge will already have to be cold for that to be worthwhile. If it's not cold already, because this just maintains a temperature rather than cools it down from the start, it's not worth it. So if you've got your fan in storage, might not be worth it. Until you're coming back, you'll be able to keep everything cold. Talking of the how cold, so this just the thermometer, just to change the temperature on it. I recommend 3 or 4, but again, it's entirely up to you how cold you want things. We've got these little catches just to for travelling, keep them locked during transit. Same on the fridge. Oh. There's the fridge. Nice size fridge freezer in these. So that's all ready for transit. Microwave, does microwavey things. Again, I'm not going to show you how to use that. The isolator for the microwave is underneath the fridge in that cupboard down there. That's where that is. So, shower, yeah, it's definitely a shower. There's a clip on the side here to bring the door. I'm not going to be able to do this one-handed whilst trying. Actually, yeah, because I can. That just pulls out. I just don't know how well you're going to see that on here, but that's the door. Shower door closed. Then concertina back together, but make sure you clip that in for travelling. Also here got a towel rail. Bathroom side things. So you've got the heated towel rail, and that does get hot, so be careful. So this is running on the Elddis central heating system and hot water system. It's glycol and water mix. it is like an ordinary radiator, so if it's hot at the bottom but not so much at the top, just needs bleeding. And here we go to taps and toilets. Already shown you this is where the light comes on if the cassette's full. That's your flush. Swivel toilet will swivel around as much as you need, but when you've finished doing whatever you need to do, make sure you slide across but slide back, just to, once you've emptied the contents, slide it back, otherwise you will really struggle to get the cassette out of the caravan, out from the side, and unfortunately we do hear of them being broken. Bedroom, so we've got some more USB ports and light switches and TV points. I will show you where the reservoir is for the Elddis fluid. So the glycol is in there. 5-year fluid now. This particular one doesn't have to be changed until January 2028. So that's good. Individual light switches again. These are all individual catches. This door between the bedroom and the bathroom area, this got a retaining strap, must be used when in transit, otherwise it will slam open and shut. You do not want that. Obviously this door is closed off to the toilet. I think really not a lot else to show you. Okay, blinds of course, so down once for blackout blinds, down again for fly screens. The kitchen one's different, it comes up from the bottom, but same principle. Again, fly screens and blackout blinds on these. Only a blackout blind on this particular window because it doesn't open. Ooh, it's looking a bit grim out there, looking a bit dark. But all in all, really lovely caravan. This has got an omnivent. So to open the omnivent, I'm not going to open it in case it rains, but twist that to open the vent and then switch on there. It will either extract air or bring it in, depending on which way you press. However, just going to turn that off. Again, it's got blackout blinds, etc. on it as well. All in all, I think that's pretty much everything. When you're turning, fridge, when you're turning it off, thumb on, do it again, and it will turn off. But that's pretty much it, I think. So, the 2023 Crusader Zephyr from Elddis. The yeah, really nice layout, and now that they are 8 feet wide, yeah, they do feel really nice and spacey, very roomy, very nice. Anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call on 01373 752 100. Also, if you do like these videos that we do, please like and share. If you want to put a comment on, if you want us to try and if you want us to video something something that you might be finding particularly difficult to do that we might be able to help out with, give us a call or put a comment on and we'll see what we can do. But if you would like to like and subscribe, that would be lovely. Alright, thanks for your time. We'll see you again on the next one. Bye bye.